Joining us now is Attorney Domingo Cayosa, former President of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines or IBP. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Muli, Attorney, thanks for joining us.
Good morning, magandang umaga sa ating mga kababayan.
Alright, Attorney, para lang po for the benefit of our viewers, ma-explain lang po natin bakit po ba ang malversation case ay non-bailable siya as compared doon sa graft charges. No? This is also in reference to sa nangyari yesterday that former Senator Revilla was able to post bail on his graft case while nakadetene pa rin po siya ngayon sa jail because of the malversation case naman.
Yung bail kasi, depende sa amount yan. Especially sa malversation case, theft, ganyan. Yung bang pagkukuha ng pera na hindi naman sa'yo, paggamit ng pera na hindi sa'yo. So, there was a mandatory law to the revised penal code to increase yung thresholds. So, meron ng bagong taripa o kaya way of computing. So much so that in malversation, if it's for mga theft, ganyan, more than 8 million pesos, hindi na bailable because the impossible penalty would be life imprisonment. So, kasi yan sa laki ng nanakaw mo based on the allegation. So, and that's why dito, hindi bailable. Dati kasi halos lahat ng mga malversation cases bailable kasi ang liit ng mga threshold amounts. Pinaasan ng Kongreso a few years back. So that's why non-bailable na.
Attorney, sorry, go ahead.
Pag ang penalty ho kasi, if the impossible penalty of the crime charge is life imprisonment and the evidence is strong, bail is not a matter of right. You have to petition the court and prove that the evidence is not strong. But in the meantime, nakapunta.
Right.
Attorney, kasi madami rin nagtatanong sa amin and we'd like to get your thoughts on this kasi kayo po ang maalam dito. Why would somebody po post bail sa isang case na bailable kahit may isa pa siyang case na non-bailable, hindi rin siya makakawala? What would it benefit him?
Well, not much for practical purposes, but I suppose he's also conscious about public optics kasi politician siya. So, may headline news that he has posted bail and granted temporary liberty dun sa mas maliit na kaso, positive news yan sa kanya, sa mga kanyang mga supporters. Pangalawa, for practical reasons, it's good that you post bail dun sa mga pwede mag-post bail as a matter of right. Diba? Yung mga small, lesser offenses where the penalty is not life imprisonment. While you are preparing your petition for bail, baka lang sakaling ma-convince niya ang korte that the evidence is not strong.
Okay, so former Senator Revilla is also facing plunder complaints before this is being investigated by the DOJ at hindi pa nga po na ipapasa sa ombudsman. And for context, hindi separate po ito doon sa kaso na kung paano po nakulong ngayon si former Senator Revilla. Now, may mga question po kasi na nagsasabi na since the former senator was acquitted in a previous graft cases before, baka daw po double jeopardy dito, if ever.
Hindi naman. Kasi number one, magkaiba namang projects yan at magkaibang acts. So hindi ho naman dahil nakasuhan ka na ng isa, hindi ka na pwede makasuhan sa iba pang mga pagnanakaw. Pangalawa, yung acquittal niya dun sa naunang mga kaso niya is totally different from this case. So yung double jeopardy applies only to the same case, to the same facts, the same circumstances, same evidence.
Okay, and right now, ang kampo po ni former Senator Revilla is I think requesting nga po na ma-detain siya muli sa custodial facility ng PNP. Do you think at this point, with the situation that we have right now, yung mga nangyayari ngayon sa corruption and yung mga VIP treatment na usapin, ay may possibility na mapagbigyan siya muli na ma-detain sa custodial facility just like before?
Being a former senator, Attorney Lee?
But Dapat hindi. Kasi if the only reason is you're a former senator, that's not enough reason. That's not a reason at all. Because we have the principle of equal protection of the laws. So he has to show very clear proof, not because he's a former senator or he's a showbiz star, but under yung kanyang nanganganib ang kanyang security o kaya may sakit siya to be given special treatment. Absent those very convincing and must be proven basis, I don't think the court should grant that, and the government should vigorously oppose it, lalong-lalo na sawang-sawa ng ating taong bayan. Kikitang double standard ang ating justice system, at kung big time yung magnanakaw o napaparatangan, karamihan nakakalusot, yung mga maliliit lang ang nakukulong.
Exactly. Pero on his defense, through his legal counsel, ang sinasabi nila ay for his own safety, because if ever malagay nga siya dun sa mahalo siya sa general population, ay yung may mga gang-related activities na sila ay kinatatakutan daw. Napapangiti kayo, attorney?
Well, as practicing lawyers, ginagamit yan ng mga lawyers usually. It's one of yung off-the-shelf mga arguments, but you have to show proof. Because when you say that, ang iyong assumption, hindi ginagawa ng BJMP o ng warden ang kanilang trabaho,
right,
at there is criminality inside the jail, which is not the case and should not be the case. So yung mga possibilities na ganyan, hindi sana tinatanggap. Of course, the lawyers would still claim that, but he's no different from any other citizen of this republic under preventive detention.
Yun. And attorney, of course, baka you could also educate us. Usually, kasi now that you've seen the developments, nag-post ng bail sa isa, yung isa wala ng bail, how soon usually does a trial start? Anong mga next steps?
Well, they can start with the pre-trial arraignment. Nandiyan naman siya, nakakulong niya. So madali lang yan dalhin sa Sandigan Bayan o sa anumang korte na dumidinig sa kanyang kaso. Pangalawa, after arraignment would be already be pre-trial. At hindi ho naman bago itong mga kaso na ito. These cases and projects have been vigorously discussed in public. Marami ng aspeto alam natin. So it's not a surprise. So we hope that the courts will this time do their job better. Bilis-bilisan nila. Ang pakiusap ko nga at ibang mga kasamahan natin, sana yung Supreme Court should come up with rules especially for graft cases. Kasi yan yung talagang natin ang daming nakakalusot sa ating mga korte at nadidribble. So ang pakiusap, maganda sana kung makipag-cooperate din ng Supreme Court and by its power of rule-making power, issue rules concerning graft cases so that it will be continuous trial, summary trial, para hindi ho aabutin ng siyam-siyam gaya ng mga nakaraan.
Okay, yung wisdom po na doon po ikinulong ng korte ng Sandigan Bayan si former Senator Bong Revilla sa may New Quezon City Jail sa may Payatas. Ano po ba yung wisdom doon? Because a lot of people are asking, naku bagong bagong facility to, maganda-ganda pa to. Ito ay taliwas doon sa nakasanayan nating mga kulungan
Quezon City Jail.
Well, hindi ko alam ang wisdom nila. So you have to ask the Sandigan Bayan justices. But I share the concern, and yung puna ng taong bayan. Kasi normally, ang korte i-order ang preventive detention dun sa kulungan na pinakamalapit sa kanila. Para malapit lang dalhin. So I don't know why ilalagay dun sa mas malayo. Meron namang detention facilities ang Quezon City. Hindi ka naman mamamatay o papatayin doon o gugutumin, di ba? Because, theoretically, all detention facilities should have the same privileges and mga facilities that make sure that those who are preventively detained are not deprived of their rights and their security is assured. So hindi natin alam. Siguro naghahanap gusto lang gamitin yung bagong detention facility. But ang sama ng dating sa taong bayan yan,
Right.
na yung naakusahan kahapon o kaya na-detain kahapon na hindi senador, hindi big time, dun siya sa Quezon City Jail Detention Center, pero yung big time dun sa Bago at mabango-bango pa. So I don't know, you have to ask them, but the optics is terrible.
Oo. Kasi sabi din, malapit-lapit din daw sa Sandigan Bayan kasi yung payatas.
Well, they can hairsplit that. I don't really know. Siguro may mga sinabing o pinakitang mga argumento, but what I'm saying is normally, and everybody should be treated the same way.
Oo.
Pinakamalapit na detention center, dyan dinalagay, unless there are very compelling reasons not to do that.
Well, attorney, yung pagsuko po ni former Senator Revilla on his own yung volition, hindi katulad po ng mga nangyayari recently na naghahanapan ngayon kung nasaan yung mga dapat arestuhin. Do you think this is also somehow a strategy on his part na mapakita, ma-imply na, hindi ako flight risk, I'm cooperating.
Mitigating
Baka
circumstances.
pwedeng ma-house arrest ako or whatever, na hindi
Mitigate.
ako makulong doon sa mismong kulungan.
Well, I don't know what strategy or motivation he has, but saludo ako sa kanya, for this particular case. Ganyan dapat ang public official. Lalo na mga mambabatas kayo. Pero kung may aresto sa inyo, magtatago kayo. Anong klaseng mambabatas ka? Di ba? Sumusunod ka dapat sa rule of law, sa batas. So meron namang valid warrant of arrest, mag-surrender ka. Yan, nakakatulong because under the revised penal code, voluntary surrender can be a mitigating circumstance once you are adjudged guilty. Pero hindi rin yan pwedeng gawing rason na, nag-voluntary surrender ako, kaya house arrest na lang, pwede ba? Hindi ho yan. Ang nasa batas lang, it is a mitigating circumstance. Pero saludo ako sa ganyan dito. It's a good example.
Attorney, yung sa naman, yung sa other cases na na-file sa Sandigan Bayan, none of them they are individual cases in their own nature, but they share the same witnesses. So, ang tanong ko, attorney, is wala bang impact? Kunyari, one case that has the same witness as the case of Senator Revilla, yung isa ma-acquit using that same witness kasi hindi na-appreciate yung testimony, will that impact whatsoever yung case ng kabila or totally separate?
Well, totally separate ang appreciation because the judges or the justices have a delicate and sensitive role of putting together all kinds of evidence. Not only the evidence of the prosecution, but the evidence of the accused. So depende ho rin yan dun sa kanyang mga ihahain na ebidensya in his defense. Secondly, a smart lawyer, of course, will take advantage of inconsistencies kung sakasakaling magkakaiba yung sinasabi sa isang kaso and the same witness will say something else dun sa kabila. So they will try to exploit that and say there is inconsistency, therefore the credibility is very weak. But jurisprudence also and the rules and evidence say that witnesses are not expected to be 100% the same or accurate because human nature, di ba? Depende sa type ng tanong, pagka-appreciate, maaring magkakaiba on some minor aspects. But the material and important points, dapat naman consistent.
Okay. All right, Attorney, taking this opportunity to ask you na rin po regarding the impeachment complaints filed against our President, President Bongbong Marcos. What do you think about it? Have you seen the articles of impeachment? Do you also share the opinion of Congressman Edgar Erice na wala daw ito, a lack of form and substance?
Diretso mo na, it's garbage daw.
Oo.
Well, I'm not prepared to make any judgment na garbage, but from what is published and what, the 6 acts comprising the 3 grounds for impeachment, medyo mahina. Kasi some of them can outrightly be dismissed, no? Kagaya nung pag-aresto sa dating presidente, merong basihan naman yan in international law and local laws. Yung failure to veto, a policy judgment yan, a political judgment. So, hindi rin yung mga pagkabangag ng presidente, ang sinasabi, yung mga public declarations sa ibang tao, you have to connect it to his functioning as a president. And you have to prove that also. So, it's very easy, but we don't trivialize the impeachment. I hope that the Committee on Justice and Congress will look at it seriously, and whatever the decisions, act on it forthwith. Hindi na yung nangyaring dribble-dribble, di ba? Guilty or not guilty. So, we cannot make a judgment kasi nga may proseso pang pagdadaanan. But in general, mukhang it could be better. Kasi you cannot also, negligence cannot be a basis, will not arise to an impeachable offense. Must be really intentional and malicious.
Well,
Attorney, pa rin sinasabi ni Congressman Irice na yung 15-page articles of impeachment, ang naging evidence na attached were merely news clippings and articles. I mean, in practice, is this accepted?
No, because unless it is an admission against interest, and the accused himself made that, like what the former president was doing, and they're using it against him now. Yung mga accusations or allegations by third parties in a rally or whatever, these are hearsay evidence. So hindi naman, it's not in proper form. There must be an affidavit at na pwedeng isubject into cross-examination ang sino mang nagsasabi at maaring managot legally kung kasinungalingan yun. So, medyo may kulang ho doon.
Well, as we can see it, mukhang impeachment season nga ngayon dahil sabi nila there will be another case being filed against the president, another impeachment case, tapos yung kay Vice President Sara Duterte. While we wait, for the decision of the Supreme Court dun sa MR, dun sa impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte. Of course, bilang isang ordinaryong mamamayan, attorney, nagtataka po kami, bakit kaya ang tagal po maglabas ng Supreme Court ng kanilang desisyon? Knowing na ngayon po, medyo, kumbaga, crucial po yung time 'Diba? Na kailangan meron na pong desisyon para makagawa na tayo ng mga dapat gawin, makapagdesisyon na ng mga dapat i-decide.
That's a very valid and important point. At kami naman, I've been publicly urging and calling upon the Supreme Court, and I'm joined by many other lawyers, siguro yung iba hindi lang nagsasalita. It is a disservice if the Supreme Court keeps on delaying the decision on the MR. Considering that, number one, it pertains to a very important process and procedure, which in the future can also be used against justices of the Supreme Court. Kasi impeachable officials din mga to.
Right.
Pangalawa, time is of the essence. At this case, yung decision in the MR has been one of the most controversial cases, and many legal scholars, former justices, chief justices, and legal scholars have roundly criticized it for being mali. Diba? Pati yung factual basis, malinaw na mali daw. So ang daming puna dito. Pero yung MR, question of law na lang yan. Bakit tumatagal? That's something that they have to respond to, because just like any others, yung mga nasasakdal, public officials din ang mga justices ng Supreme Court, they are also accountable to the people. And they must remember that justice delayed, justice denied. The Congress needs a finality on this para alam nilang gagawin, para hindi na naman aabot sa Supreme Court yung impeachment. That should remain with the legislative branch.
Yeah. Gumugulo na kasi yung mga pangyayari ngayon. Pero yung tawag sa...
I hope media can help us. Kalampagin natin ang Supreme Court. Nagtatrabaho sila para sa taong bayan. Yung delay na yan, hindi dapat pinapalampas yan. At pakiusapan natin sila. Decision na nyo ito, one way or the other, hindi pwedeng i-dribble lang ito.
Alright, as always, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Attorney Cayosa, sa mga insights po ninyo this morning. We hope to see you again soon. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Maraming salamat. Good morning.